Hi everyone, happy Friday evening. And just gonna make sure this thing's in tune. Wow. Temperamental. Wood is temperamental. There's some days that come on here, she's spot on, other days not. Anyway, for anybody who's new to me, my name is Ernestine Day, and I am the Soulful Guitarist. And I channel energy from source through my guitar without using words. And yeah, that's what I do. It's what I get to do, and it's who I am and what I get to be all the time. Anyway, let's see where we go. I forgot to do one thing. I need to make my Facebook page public. Forgot to do that. So you're back on here. The little voice instead of look at that. I just saw something said 3-3. So I'm seeing these incredible numbers a lot these days, and privacy. I have to do this with Facebook. Make it my live stream public. I just saw something. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's see where we go. I'm chuckling at myself. Something that I have discovered more consciously aware of for myself. I've always done it, but I didn't understand it the way I now truly understand it. No matter what goes on in the outside world, because some people are just who they are. And like, don't, my mind's are not jumping, but something else showed up. I'll talk after this. Right now I just need to play because this is where I get to come and get back into my body. That's what I was going to say. Because it has to do with my guitar. No matter what's going on in the outside world that may upset me or whatever, this is how I pull back into me. This is me connecting back to my soul that I am. And I'm so grateful. I'm so bloody grateful. And I feel very blessed by this. But anyway, here we go. Wow, that's strange. That is strange. It's not. I just gotta change cables here. Just give me a second, everybody. Instead of being wireless, I now need to plug my guitar in directly. For whatever reason, which is really bizarre. But it is what it is. We can fight or resist. And I just choose to go, okay, and just deal with it and move on. Just deal with it and move on. Okay, guys, here we go. Wow. Maybe spirit's intervening here. Well, let's try this again. Oh dear. Forgot to plug my guitar in. Here we go. Whew. It's like, wow, that's all I gotta say. That energy I just shared right now, you want to call it a song? It's an energy too. It just depends where I'm at in the moment. I'll say one way or the other. But anyway, that was just channeled this morning on my live. It was the first thing I did this morning on my live. And because it just happens for me, and what I'm really consciously being totally aware of is I've always known there's been this incredible relationship with me, my guitar. She's my comfort zone, and you know, she is my soulmate. She has been for ages. Hello, V. And so is what I really am totally consciously aware of now is that if something's going on for me, and that all I need to do is come on here, pick up my guitar, and as soon as I strum something, it just happens, because I don't plan what I'm going to play, let alone how I'm going to play it, because I can have the same song played multiple different ways. I'm not in control. And some channeling I remember, some I don't. This one I did remember. But anyway, you know, when it started out this morning, and it was like, there was like a, I think, and there was that instant vibration. I went, So I stayed with that and just kept on doing that and allowed it to take where it was going to take me. And then, yeah, it was, and I'm glad I'm able to remember this one, because it's such a fun, I think when I did it this morning, first thing, I think it was more, I'm going to use the word, no, because whatever I was going to say is not applicable, is how I play the energy of any new song or ones I've had for a while. When I go to play them, they get to be expressed in this moment for this very single moment, not what I did, like even this morning. I can't duplicate what I did this morning, but all I can do is when I come on here, especially for the fact is that, oh, I know, I have a line through my nose. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I can, and it annoys me. See, that will help. Not really, but I need to take that thing out. So when I come on here, it's like, somebody called me, at least I thanked her for having the courtesy and respect for calling me. And she didn't know some information. This is what happens, you guys. If you weren't there to see what really happened, because it's called cause and effect, right? And I know for myself, because that's all I can speak for, it's like, you will not treat me, anybody, I don't give a shit who you are. Nobody will treat me with disregard and disrespect. Some of you guys know the spiel behind that. And I get a phone call this evening. And this person, you know, and the way it started out, I felt like she was trying to give me shit for something and not being truthful, instead of just saying, you know, something. But you know yourself, if you sit there and listen to somebody, they tell you more information than they realize they're telling you. For example, you know, if somebody called up on themselves and said, I felt this way, blah, 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 that's one thing. But when you sit there and all of a sudden you're saying, I could, because of things she was saying, I knew, oh, so we got a little conversation happening here about the person who was absolutely rude and disrespectful to me 2.5 weeks ago, when I held them accountable at the next meeting because of her behavior conduct, not mine. But here we go. Would the word gaslighting be applicable? I think it is. And wow, that just came to me. Thank you. So I set her straight on a couple of things. I said, if I find out what I was clearly understanding was incorrect, I will correct something. Otherwise, I'm not doing anything else, right? And when I said to this person, you weren't there at the meeting. Well, no, you're right. I said, exactly. And that's where people mind your own business. If somebody has an issue, they can come talk to me because that's what they can do. But this whole manipulating things behind the scenes to go, oh, Ernie, and I was even called, well, you're a bit of a bully. What? Because I stood up for myself and spoke truth? Very affirming. You know, it's like, it just amazes me what people will get engaged with, I could say. But anyway, let's get back at this. I just need to be with me, my guitar, and with you guys. Here we go.
would we move throughout the outer world, the external world? People have chaos and drama in their life, and they project their own stuff onto other people. Why I'm saying this is we need to focus back within ourselves and look inward. I remember I used to say to my counselor, why can't my family see me for me? Which is very true. At the same time, they're not capable of able to see me because they don't even see themselves. But what's most important, that over this past 5 years, my expansion into who I am with the under to understanding, so much more. It was me finding me. I don't need anybody out there to say you're good or bad or anything else. I don't care. Because I know within me who I am. And if I make a mistake, I'll own it. Sorry, I made a mistake. That's okay. We all make mistakes. But the difference is of owning it. That's the difference. That's called integrity. And for me, I'm only responsible for what I say, how I say it, and what my true intention behind the meaning is. My true intention is to assist and help everybody on this planet to rise within themselves to this incredible space that is there for them if they choose so. Or what they can do is just continue on playing these games and going, I didn't do anything. Look over there, look at that. Isn't that, no, right? And with me is that only things happen to us that I allow to happen to us. Or to me, sorry. So if I stand up for myself and speak truth of something, and speak truth with not blaming, I don't need to do that. I want to speak truth to how insulting, how degrading, in this case, where I'm going right now, my own mind, is insulting, degrading, disrespectful, rude, absolute, condescending. Yeah, I can't use the word right now. That's true. I didn't say you are. What you said is that. And that was said really showed how you think or feel about me, because people cannot really hide their true colors about anybody. I've known for a while she doesn't like me, and I really don't care. Because it's none of my business what she thinks of me. What's more important, what is my business is me thinking about me. And it's just like, if something happens or there are other people there and I'm not quite sure what it is, I will go and not talk about everything, no, but to find out, just like what I did in this situation, happened 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks ago, is I talked to a couple different people that were at the meeting. Did I hear what I heard? They said, yes, you did. And we're all saying the same thing, rude, disrespectful, you name it. And it's just quite interesting just how people masters at twisting things around to be something that they're not. It's like I was told this evening, I'm smiling because it's quite funny. She goes, well, you're a little bit of a bully. I said, pardon me? How was I being a bit of a bully? Well, when Janine, the things you said to her. And I go, and I just trusted guidance that was coming in. I just said that I'm only responding to what she said to me 2 weeks before. It was all pure truth. And you weren't there 2 weeks ago to hear what she said, how she said it, and how insulting and rude and disrespectful it was. She goes, oh, you're right. Right? I didn't try to protect me, go, I did nothing wrong. No, and the fact is, I did nothing wrong. And it's quite interesting how, it's just, that's where you mind your own business. If somebody comes to talk to me and they want to talk about themselves, and if they need some advice, I'm here for anybody. But I don't want to hear about Joe Blow down the street and all this stuff. No. If I engage in that, I bring my own level down. It's nothing just rude or disrespectful as I say that, but it will bring my own energy level down. And I've worked so hard to be where I'm at and to be conscious in everything I do. And I think what's really sad too is that people don't know my story. And because I'm such an incredible gifted person that I am, I can see her story. I can see it through how she operates her life. And, it's sad when people do that to themselves. But again, nobody can see, it's like myself. I couldn't see myself, but I'm now able to see more about who I am. And I'm stepping into my power, and I will not allow anybody to be rude and disrespectful to me, etc. Yeah. It's crazy. And that's where, don't engage with stuff. Stay in your body and be centered and grounded the best you're able to, and just listen to the best of your ability and speak truth. I've always believed that everything will come out in the wash as long as people speak the truth. And with me is, I'm valuable myself. I'm a damn good musician. Right? I wouldn't have said that over a year ago. All I said a year ago was, I'm not too shabby. And that was a year ago. And this whole past year was like stepping in, trusting everything that I am, and allowing this energy to move in and through me the way it does. I'm not driving this seat the best, you guys. I'm a container, you're a container. I'm this incredible container that is nothing but love and everything else. And I find this quite interesting. Wow, this just came to me, is that because in 2015, a friend of mine, Susan Woodward, posted about a covert narcissist. And I read the article about a covert narcissist. I'm like, holy shit. And because of identification, because that's who I was dealing with in the present moment, which was a landlord. And then as I sat with that, I start looking at my past relationships, the exact same kind of people. And then all of a sudden I went back to my family of origin that I was born into in this lifetime. I went, holy shit. All I did was follow that pattern. I knew how to survive. Exist in that chaos, that drama that was always there. And, it's in 1996, as I opened up to my own thoughts, not somebody else's telling me what it should be, my own thoughts, my own feelings that are mine, to my own emotions. And I would channel this beautiful energy as I open up to myself through my guitar. That's how my music started. I was already doing it, but I did not know to the depth I knew then, right? Let alone not know today. it just, I'm so proud of myself for all the choices I made. And people in my family judge me, talk behind my back, and not only about my sexual orientation, lots of, to my face, don't have a problem, but their behavior, conduct speaks volumes. And no, I can't. It just amazes me just how incredibly strong I have been to go through everything I've gone through, to opening up to my own thoughts, feelings, emotions, which started in 1996, to recording my first album in 2002. Put my music away for about 15 years. In 2015, I come back into my music, and I performed at Surrey Pride. Had a blast. And so I've been that was really dipping my foot in there big time. And, and then going to Soulology, connecting with Soulology family, and then going to Soulology Fest where I performed as well on the stage at Soulology Fest in Arkansas. Mulberry Mountain, Ozark Mountains. That was in 2022. To performing at Soulology Fest the following year in December, which was going to be in Houston. Went to that and performed. And because of this incredible, amazing Soulology family, they've helped me to see myself. And really, I'm going to take the word Soulology, it's there, absolutely. I'm going to use the absolute incredible soul beings that I've been connecting with ever since. You guys have all helped me to see myself. And it's me trusting that I am that, which I already knew. But to step into this and really own it, I'm very proud of myself to this very day. And I remember after I was finished counseling, I think it was 2019, I think I stopped. I was in there 2.5, 3 years. And I thought, okay, I'm done now. And I left there and I went, something's missing. But I knew I was done there. I didn't know what it was. And what it was my spirituality. So Spirit brought me this amazing woman named Catania Kyler. She's originally from Vancouver. She was living in Nanaimo. That's where I met her, Nanaimo. She's now living in Nova Scotia. I just friggin' love her to death. So I met Catania, and I found out she was a minister, and I said, look, I need to be honest with you. I have a problem with organized religion. And she goes, so do I. I'm like, what? And she expressed everything I've always felt inside. And we had the most beautiful conversation. I think we talked for like 4 hours. We have all these incredible people that come into our life to assist us on many, many levels. Got into counseling, my spirituality is missing. Boom, Spirit brings me this incredible, amazing being. And I have a song called Instrumental Silence that came from her energy where she did a guided meditation. Yeah, I channeled that. Sorry, just... Hi, Andrea. Hello, Leslie. And my beautiful sister, Jennifer. I don't know who else is here. Thank you for being here. The only thing I know is how to speak my truth. Because I posted something the other day. They said when you tell the truth, you don't have to think about it or make up something to make it something it's not. And it's true, right? It's true. Always speak truth. And don't try to maneuver part of it to be over it a little bit. No, just speak the truth. Wow. Jennifer just, I'll find this here. I'm chuckling because I think it's absolutely adorable what she says. She goes, I think this has been my favorite live so far. And Jennifer doesn't miss many, I'll tell you that. And for her to say that, I understand. I totally understand. And it's the same thing with me. Every time I come on here, it's always my favorite because it's being present and whatever comes in and just to speak truth without, because the stories and the details really honestly don't matter. It's about being clear within ourselves and not taking on what their behavior and conduct, because that's not your job or responsibility. You're only responsible for yourself and how you respond or react. There's times when I react, absolutely, right? And it takes a lot for me to get pissed. And I'm not even at the pissed moment yet, right? And keep on pushing, it may happen. But I also know now for myself, because as some of you guys know, those who don't, like, I don't let people into my life at all. And it's been about 2001, I think it was, that I pulled back from everybody and everything. And in 2015, you know, sorry, I I read what Jennifer said and I got distracted. Darn it, I don't like that. That's my own fault. No, it takes a lot. It takes a hell of a lot to piss me off. And the one thing is I'm finding I'm having less tolerance of, because before I used to, and I'll put it this way, take on that energy of somebody else and think I've done something wrong. Well, if I would have said this, remember that person that you thought, well, if I say this, they'll know how much I love them, and you know, and always trying to prove yourself to somebody. I don't have to prove anything to anybody, nor do they have anything to prove to me. But be truthful and honest about who you are. Don't try to put on the facade like, everything in my life is peachy keen. I'm perfect. I'm this. Fuck you. Like, what planet are you on? We all go through shit. We handle it the best we can. And from that experience, we process it. And you know, you know, for me, I'm speaking for myself, and I know a lot of my soul sisters and brothers that are on here right now know this, is that, you know, I look at myself and find that place and space that's within me that is wounded. And I have a choice of allowing the wound to control me, or do I control the wound? And it's not really about control, you guys. It's about acknowledging that we get friggin' triggered. Right? Because sometimes when you get pissed off, we're actually being triggered. But we're trying to protect ourselves, and we do, you know, say things or do some things that we go, oh, shit. But the one thing that I do, and I've never done that to anybody, thank goodness, because you know, there's only one person I ever yelled and screamed at, and that's the caretaker here. And that's after multiple times, and I'm saying multiple, I'm talking at least 30 to 50 times asking to talk to a board member. And I was here 5 months. Yeah, so around 30 to 40, roughly around 30, 40 times asking to speak to a board member. I was getting put off. And then, actually, you ready for this, Sandra? Okay, Sandra, I met Sandra at Solar G Fest in the Ozark Mountains. The day before I'm leaving, I had my car parked out front here because I need to get stuff out, and I need to load my car with my luggage because I'm leaving the next morning really early. And, it's amazing. If you don't ever buck when something says, look this way or look that way, trust me, there's a reason. Because you can get in your mind and go, no, I'm going to do this first before I do that. You're no. And I look out, and this same landlord is having my car towed. And I went out, and the guy was mad, but it was just like, no, this is my car. I live right there. You do not touch my car. I was very adamant. And so he said, well, there's a ticket on your car. And I looked at the ticket, and I have it. And then, of course, he sees now what's going on. He's loving it. And I'm moving my car, and the truck drivers blocked me. And I said, please move. And I said, and I yelled this. No, I didn't yell then. I did raise my voice. I said, when in the fuck am I having my meeting with the board of directors? He laughed at me. Like, and I just, right, so I parked, and then he's scurrying into his little buddy over here. And as I walking by, I said, and I'm yelling. I have never yelled with such a clear voice ever. Because usually my throat, it was clear as a bell. And I said, you're a fucking coward. That's all you are. You're a fucking coward. And I did up a letter right away because, of course, everything's fresh and clear. And I dropped off to the board of directors. And I've been here 3 years, not one single response from him as the caretaker, nor the board of directors. How's that? Right? So that's what I went through the day before I'm leaving to go to Soulful in Arkansas, which is, and I realized at about the same time, like all this stuff, that I hadn't done anything for myself in 31 years. That is the first thing I've ever done for myself to that degree. Yeah. And it was like, oh shit, I'm going to be around people. But the beautiful experience that I had being at Soulful Fest, and Soulful, that nobody there intrudes in other people's space. People don't go, what's wrong with you? Right, because you're sitting there quiet doesn't mean there's something wrong. I got to move throughout the festival feeling safe to be around Soul Family. I got to learn a lot that day, or actually that weekend. A lot. Because I always felt that, it's like saying something's wrong with you. Why are you crying? Something wrong? Oh, can I hold your hand? Do you want me to, give you a hug? I'll make you feel better. And I don't mean, when I'm saying this with a bit of a sarcasticness, but I'm not trying to be rude about it, because people mean well. I know that, right? But all I'm trying to say is that to be in a space or place where I could move around and everybody had, it was the most beautiful experience I've ever had. I'm so grateful for meeting people like Sandra there. I met a whole pile of people. My beautiful brother, I know his name, I can see his face. The one who played guitar and sang there, and he was, Keith Hill, there we go, Keith Hill. He performed, I got to meet him physically. Then I channeled his song. Keith, you guys, he's in, you know what he's doing now? He's in this place outside of Texas, I can't remember where it's at, and he's doing sound baths, and Kate had posted a video this video that he posted about him doing the sound bath, and whoa, go check him out. Oh my God. And this is what we're all doing. We're stepping in more to who we are and not holding back. I'm not holding back for myself, and I've never really have. But the thing is me getting the courage. I've always had courage, but getting the courage and that's not even courage. I'm going to take that word out, is to stop doing the silly dance with other people. It's like, oh, he meant well or she meant well. He didn't mean anything by that. When people say what they say, that's who they are. And the only way for me is that, if this person chose to come, see what their responsibility is, and they came and say, I'm sorry, I'm going to say, what are you sorry for? If you ever do, if somebody says to you, I'm sorry, right, just say, so do you mind, you don't have to say, do you mind if I ask, just, what are you sorry for? I'll tell you something, they don't know. If they do know, they will speak truth immediately. That's how you know. Yeah. Okay, I was going to play another one, but I'm getting a very quiet, maybe a quiet one to end out the evening. What do you think? Yeah, I think so. No, let's get at this. For anyone who's listened to me for any period of time, I know Jennifer, Sandra, Andrea, my beautiful longtime sister Andrea. The depth, because the more I dip into my soul that I am, the depth of songs like just that. You can't fake this shit. It's just, when Spirit gave me my name, Soulful Guitarist, in 2017, it spoke to me. I did not use that language then because I thought I was being smart. Man, I was come up with that one. That was pretty good. Now it's a different story. I now understand with Spirit. Yeah. I love what I get to do. I love just everything that I am. And I just got a confirmation on something that was brought up in this little conversation earlier this evening, and I am right. I'm not being cheeky and bratty about that. I'm just saying I was right. And I told this person I'm going to verify with Kylene and verify with her because that's what happened that day. And she goes, I didn't hear that. Well, maybe, excuse my expression, everybody shut the hell up and start paying attention and listening. And don't have these little side conversations going on because you miss out a whole pile of shit, which causes another pile of shit that doesn't need to be there if you are paying attention. Right? And that's all I'm going to say. And yeah, because I don't want to give this any more energy than the fact is I was right. I did not misunderstand anything. And I said if I misunderstood something, I'll correct it. I don't need to correct it now because it was accurate, it was true. Because I love people, again, going back to how they project and, because I'm a very bright light. I know that. I'm a very strong person, but with a friggin' incredible heart. I don't sit there and think, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I need to control this and that. I don't need to control fuck all. I don't need to. And remember, everybody, you have choice. You have free will. It's like, oh, it's my brother, or it's my mother, or it's this or that, or whatever. So, and I'm not trying to be rude when I say that, but I'm just saying, I used to do that. I would put other people before myself. Now I'm able to see how I didn't really value myself then. I'm not putting myself down when I say that. I'm just speaking truth. Because I didn't. Because if I did, I would not allow that to happen. Any of it. But because of my low self-esteem, low self-worth, you name it. And again, I'm going to refer back to my Soulology family. Sandra's here. Andrea's here. Jennifer's here. I don't know if anybody else is here, part of my Soulology family. You guys have been every single one of you guys have been very, very instrumental in me and my inner growth. Because there's so much, when I stepped into the Soulology family, there was so much I wasn't aware of. With things, it's just like the message they get from Spirit, just listening to other people. And by you guys sharing your truth, your stories. You helped me to understand so much about my own path. And it's just like, I know I have this incredible team of angels around me. Because I had an incident back in 1989, 1990. No, sorry, back up. No, it was around 1999, 2000. But anyway, there was a massive storm that hit, and I worked in not a transition house, I'm going to say that word, it's not that. I worked in a home for mentally challenged adults with severe behavioral problems. So I worked 5 days, or 4 days on, 4 days off. and I worked the day shift only. And anyway, people were stuck at this house for 4 or 5 days, because I just barely made it out of there and home, just barely. And, anyway, so the storm's over. I have to go back to work. Shoving out the driveway. I live 5 miles in from the highway, and finally a neighbor's plowed out the road. And I went to go out the next morning to go to work because I started at 6. And the back tail in my car slid this way and then into a whatever. And I'm going, no, 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 no. I got to get to work. These people have been stuck there without a break for 4 or 5 days. I got to get there. I got to get there. And this is no word lie. I felt this incredible energy picking up my car and moving it over. When it happened, I went, holy shit. But I just focused was getting to work, so I went to work. Yeah. Now I understand who and what that was. The feeling's always with me, always. But I didn't understand because of my Soulology family, brothers and sisters. You guys have all helped me to understand and grow within myself. Yeah, Mulberry Mountain was special. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm so grateful for that. And I just realized, I think it was yesterday or something, that I had not put that information on my website, that I performed at Soulology Fest in August of 2022 and December of 2023. 2023. Need to put that up on my website. And yeah. And also the fact is I did Surrey Pride back in 2015. Because people, like, I know what I do is incredible because where it comes from within me. And it's like now, because I'm stepping out like this, I shot off 2 emails this morning. And I'll be very honest, I'm leaning on the gay side of things, okay? If I'm willing to go to a music festival as well. Because there's people in the community that know me, that know this part of me. And they've experienced, they really love what I do and they want to support me. So, for me, as some of you guys know, for me to even ask to perform at Pride this year in Langley was huge for me, just even ask. Because I know I deserve to be on that stage, as I did at Soulology Fest, as I did at Surrey Pride back in 2015. And I feel that this time I'm at a very crucial, incredible point in my life because my music has just gotten just amazing ever since I've been playing. But, the Looper came into my life 3.5 years ago to, like, look what I do now. Sandra can tell you it's the same me, but there's a depth, there's a feeling, because I've embodied this, that I am. So it's not that I was thinking before, because I always channel, but I'm trusting and to hit a note a certain way, because that's how I feel, right? Because when I first started, it was like pick, 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 pick. Now there's the fluidity, and it's very sensual, because I'm trusting myself. I get to come on here and practice with you guys. Literally, that's what it is. I get to come on here, hang out with you guys, and I just get to play. and see what unfolds. I've always gotten magic out of it. Always. Always. And I'm hoping because I know the only way the people itself, will know who I am if I go out and perform. And so I'm breaking that barrier in myself to step up and do it. And I'm going to say this little icing on the cake. My beautiful sister Sandra, I don't want to say one age because I don't. How old are you again? Because she's older than what I thought she was. How old are you, Sandra? She'll tell me. She'll tell us. She's a good egg about it. And Sandra's also an actress. She's also a fellow musician, singer. She's got her own band that they do gigs. And that I think it's 70 something. So here's the thing is this. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that, there we go, 75. Thank you. She's 75. And she's starting an incredible new life, doing what she wanted to do, like acting, doing more of it, stage. They just did a movie, and I think you guys got nominated. Can you put the title of the movie on there so people can go find it? And I believe it's based on a true story. And I'm 68. It's never too late, anybody. It's not about age, it's about how you feel inside. Trust that. Right? My mobility is not as good as it could be. And I know that. But I have no problem asking for help. Like saying, let me park near the stage so I can unload. Right? Or, like there's little things that can be done that doesn't interfere with anything. And I'm quite capable of looking after myself and doing what I do. It's just walking now is a little bit difficult. I'm not going to deny that. Around the home here, I'm fine. Going to my car, I'm fine. To go into a store to start walking, that's a different story. And that, I think it's 2 or 3 vertebrae or discs or something on the bottom of like my tailbone that is just like bone to bone. And I just did an x-ray yesterday, so I'll have the results. I haven't done an x-ray on my back for a very long time. So, yeah. But I don't let that stop me. Why would I? It's like, that's why I love coming on here with you guys. We just get to hang out and just be. And there's this, when I, right on, she's put a clip on this page here. She said, scroll to the bottom. You'll see it. If you sit there and have the attitude, if you allow that to happen to yourself, well, I'm in my 50s. Oh, I'm too old to do that. No, I'm 60. Oh, it's too late. I've already done. Excuse me? We're constantly evolving and unfolding within ourselves to find out more about who we are. I've always been wanting to do this my entire life. My entire life. To perform. But I now understand even at an absolute soul level why. Because the vibration that I channel. Wow. I'm so fucking grateful. Okay, you guys. This gal, it's 10 o'clock here. Oh, look at this, 10:11. Boom! Mic drop. Anyway, good night, everybody. Love you dearly. Hugs and loves, and we'll see you.